Good afternoon. This is an Elliott wave intraday alert for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 being recorded on Wednesday, April the 9th at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I'm just going to send this out because I understand that we're all probably wondering what the heck, but what it kind of looks like to me. Now, the market is, of course, very choppy and moving extremely fast, up and down. But here's what I believe is behind it. It isn't the sudden interest in becoming bullish or that everything's been resolved or things are looking okay on all these different fronts. The news, the financial news media, that's what they're going to put out. Anything that they can tie to what this is going on, they're going to put it out there. People are on edge, et cetera, et cetera. But when I take a look at the volatility, yes, it's coming down, as we can see in the VIX, but it is not falling dramatically. So I want to make it clear. Let me just get down so I can get that VIX reading. The VIX was up at 55. It's now 49.85. So it's still way up there. And when I go over and I just take a look at what's kind of going on within the options, Lucy, sorry, got a dog. That the, one second, please. Thank you. Just had to get the dog out of the house. All right. So sorry about that. In any case, what is continuing to trade in very large amounts are puts. Now, whether they're just readjusting positions, whether they're getting out of one level, putting on a different level, that part I can't tell. But I will tell you that there are still more puts trading than calls, not as unbalanced. And what I want to do is just take a quick look. Let's take a look at the SPX, since we're talking about the S&P 500, and go down and go with today. We're still seeing 117 and a half, almost 118% volatility. You're still seeing all the way down the line, massive amounts. So, if you were short these puts, then maybe they're taking them off. They're getting rid of it. But you can see just moving down, very little on the call side. Total, all the puts. Look at the massive amount of puts that are trading here. 10,000, 21,000, 4,900, 29,000. Let's see if that does not become the new put wall. Now, these are the things that we're going to start to look at because the market made it back above 5,000. Now, I don't think that that's going to hold, but here we are. And so we're seeing a lot of adjusting. And just to kind of take that away for just a moment and go all the way down, and you're going to see volatility is up all the way out. And so right now, again, tomorrow is 85. Friday is 81. And then it kind of breaks down. So they're giving a break to, what can happen over the weekend. But I just want to look at together how these options are trading. We look at today's statistics and we can see 688,000 calls thus far, 1,024,000 puts. So it's not quite 2 to 1, but as a 1 3/4 to 1. So that's a lot of puts over calls. So the fear is still there. The adjusting is still there. The positioning is still there. So having that many puts trading, if you're a dealer and you're selling the put, you have to sell. But if they're selling the puts back to the dealers, they have to buy. So we're seeing a lot of buying coming in. Now, what else is kind of going on? Well, I don't read behind the scenes, although we've seen now the market overnight, as I said this morning, that it kind of, was down massive on the Globex opening, and then was during the night was up 50. So just up and down, and that's kind of how it's been flowing around. I'm taking a look at the spiders. 120. on today's. I want you to take a look at this with me. And because we're going to come down and look at, once we start getting, like they're trading at 499, from 400 on up, thousands of puts are trading. And now as we get up closer, 465, 15,000, 460, 16,000, 470, 40,000. So, and 480, 106,000. So I think traders are taking this opportunity, 490, 126,000, massive amounts of puts versus calls are getting, yes, they're trading, but here's where it's happening. It's happening in the puts. That keeps all of that volatility very high. And so I don't believe that volatility is going to start to come in. Let's go back over to the charts. And let me get back out of that and go back over to the ES. Now, technically, I mean, this is a 15-minute chart. We're sideways. We're in a sideways pattern. Now, again, I felt this could have been wave 1 of 5. And so what do we got going on? A 2, ABC. Now, it can continue to go up, of course, because maybe this has a little bit more to go, but it still looks like an ABC up. I can throw some fibs around that. Let me just try to get this out a little bit. Again, folks, I'm not at home working on my own computer, so I'm on a MacBook Air, which are fabulous. It's a great little computer, but no mouse. So if we just had to run this, you're looking at, it's probably up there. It's kind of on a 1 hour basis. It's kind of getting up, cannot get across the hourly 50, which would be big, would give it a boost to this whole thing. But right now it's being held by it. So we got above 5,100. No, we got close. 5,087, 5,087 so far, the high. Now, if it is an ABC, and don't forget, in about an hour and 20 minutes, we have the Fed minutes from the last meeting. We also already know that as far as discussions, as far as what the Fed chairman is saying, they're labeling him more hawkish now. So I'm not sure what kind of going to come out of what the meetings are going to say, but they often can create a little bit of chaos in the market. Not that we're not already in there. So again, what I wanted to show you on an Elliott basis looks like an ABC up, which keeps me in this thing that this is a 1 and we're working a 2 and we will come flying down again. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But right now, the Dow's up 200, the S&P's up 32, the NASDAQ's up 250, the Russell's down 10. So again, they're not really coming in for the mid caps. It's very focused. Apple's up $7.50. Nvidia's up 3.5. I mean, we can just go down this list. And Tesla up 11. Somebody actually came out and reinstated their buy recommendation for Tesla, that everything should just be fine. I think when we start hearing that, I put it in the I don't believe you category. Now that's just me, and I'm kind of maybe a skeptic, but I look at this and I'm thinking to myself, this is serious. What's happening to our country, what the government is doing, that the tariffs, they are not good. You're not going to be able to put a spin on it. So please don't misunderstand why the market's up. Think of the action of what's happening underneath it. I'm telling you that hundreds of thousands of puts are trading, and I was just in the S&P. That's all I was really looking at. The Qs, similar numbers. I think if we go into Apple, similar. We're going to see the puts. And again, now they're doing one-to-one hedges against this stuff. And so it's crazy. It's crazy. Volatility remains high. So even though the market is up, volatility has come down a little bit, but it's not going massively lower. So all of the problems that come along with high volatility are still there. All right. So what can we say? I'm going to still look for additional downside. This is not turning into, I mean, it could be 1, 2, 1, 2, but if it's a third, we need to fly. We need to fly. And the market has had those moments where it's just kind of like, wow, look at it go. But it's constantly met with, okay, now look at it dump. So that just tells me that they're just making adjustments to the position and just getting prepared for the next whatever. Okay, let's go over and take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ pretty much is exactly the same, just a little bit bigger range because it's a lot thinner. But here we have, there's the 4, there's the 1 and the 2, and I would just have to push, oops. Where am I? I gotta go figure that out. Sorry about that. That's what I'm looking for. Activate it and get it up out of the way because we've gone above that level. So I'm going to put it up here. And what I can do as well as just kind of open this up and throw some fibs in there to see if we're looking for completion in wave 2, where can we find it? Let's just kind of get that on there quickly. That's the wrong side. Why are you coming in? Ugh. 1 second, please. Okay, get rid of that. I'm going to do it from here. Yeah, now we got it. There to there. Now we got it. So you can see we've already hit the 100%. If this is A, B, and a C, C's already hit 100%. If we're going to go up and go beyond that, our next step would be 18,053. And could they do that? I think put another 500 points on here today in our current situation. I don't know. I really don't. So again, maybe that's about as far as we're going to go, and it's going to meet resistance and it's going to start swinging back lower again. Again, I don't know. I'm going to remove that because I just need to get in there. But if it is, and we do really start to slide, it would be a third wave. It would be wave 3 of 5, as how I'm seeing this right now. Or at least a stronger downside move might be coming next. For all I know, I got a 1, 2, 3, but you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. And this is such a 3 here that I'm going to call it 2, which leaves us coming to be dropping into a third. And they might wait until we get the Fed minutes out there or just additional information. But it is still, and trading, by the way, trading, there's a lot of opportunity, hands down, but you've got to be more of a precision type trader. It's very difficult because you could pop into something and the market just changes its mind, turns on a dime and goes in the other direction. And if you're trading the full in the NASDAQ, it's $5 a tick. And as we all know who trade the NASDAQ, it doesn't trade in ticks. It trades in dollars. So it's moving $20, a point, and it'll be moving 10, 20, $30. So very quickly, even on a one lot in this thing, you can be down $500, $600, $700 very quickly. Now, the other side of that is you also can be up $500, $600, $700 very quickly. So depending on your style, depending on how nimble you are in and out of the market, there are opportunities. Or just switch over and trade the micro. But let me just take a look here. I just want to go over and show again. I use the Qs. Options trade much more cleanly here. Qs big range today. 415 low, 424 high, so that's a big range. Let's kind of come down 132. So the volatility is going up here. The volatility in the options is going up. The market is up 549. You would think that vol would start to collapse, but it's not. And when we get into these types of situations where we get these bigger moves up and down, volatility ain't going anywhere. Yes, it's coming down a little bit, but it is not swinging as if, okay, we've all turned bullish again. And I'll tell you why. We just got to just pull into a little bit, and we're going to see here in the Qs. We're going to get up closer, right? So we start to see it, 380. Here, 390, 13,000, 395, 12,000, 466,000. Came in today with an open interest of just under 7,000. 66,000 here. And it's not even that they're doing straddles, because you'd have to go over and look for an equal number. And it's not. It is in the puts. So what does the market think? Upside is cooked. Downside isn't over, and they're moving into protection. And so again, retail does not trade that kind of size. So come back all the way down, because we got a lot of months that get factored in there. We're going to take a look at the statistics. All right, so come on. Here we have it. Not as bad. So it's 1,088,000 calls, 1,364,000, 365 in the puts. So a little bit skewed towards the put side. And we're seeing that. We're seeing it. So even when you go into the back months, I think here, let me just take a look at the options time and sales and just see what comes up as largest trade. You see, here we have tomorrow. They're selling calls. Here we have in May, the May 390 put, 10,000 lot traded. That was just about 45 minutes ago. 10,000, 29 delta, 5690 IV. So again, they're trading and they're getting prepared and they're moving out. So it's not like we're loading up in here. I think they're adjusting in here and they're loading up out here as if this is not done. All right. I wanted to be important just to kind of give a quick update. I am not getting excited because of the market being up. Not at all. And so I'm going to go back over to the NQ. We're going to take a look again. 1, 2. Now here as well, I can kind of, let me go, that's going to be there. To there, to there. And we see 100% of 17,593. Again, same things we saw in the SPX or in this ES. It has gotten up to that where A and C are equal. At here at 17,593. So if we break above it, we might equal it. We're going to sit in this box. And I can bring this all the way down and we look at the 15-minute chart. Nope, I wanted the 15. I can go to the 15-minute chart. You kind of see the same thing. We're sitting in a box. We're sitting in a very tight box. Let me get rid of that. Remove it. So I just wanted to get this out, folks. I am doing some trading, but it's almost not right. It's just, let me see. Hold on. Here's some news. Oh, all right. Backs off NVIDIA's H2 chip crackdown after, okay. The CEO of NVIDIA had a Mar-a-Lago dinner. Okay. So it's still crazy. That's my point. It's still crazy. And I am still looking for additional downside before this is all done. And so nothing has changed in terms of pushing it up to a cycle third. I appreciate several of you are making comments like you might want to do that. I get it. And I don't mind. Let's continue to communicate. Leave me comments, leave questions, leave statements, leave your own count. Don't mind. This is our point. This is what we're trying to share here. So I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get this posted. Thanks. Next update will be the daily.